The history of nations is a fascinating subject, full of highs and lows, victories and defeats. Nations rise to power and prominence, only to eventually fall from grace and decline. The reasons for this cycle of rise and fall are varied and complex, but there are some common themes that emerge. One of the key factors in the rise of nations is economic growth. Nations that experience sustained periods of economic growth are able to invest in their infrastructure, build strong institutions, and attract talented people from around the world. This creates a virtuous cycle that can propel a nation to greatness. However, economic growth alone is not enough to ensure the long-term success of a nation. Nations must also have strong political institutions that are able to provide stability, protect individual rights, and ensure the rule of law. Without these institutions, nations can become corrupt, unstable, and prone to social unrest. Another key factor in the rise and fall of nations is demographics. Nations that have large, youthful populations can experience rapid economic growth and technological progress. But if they are not able to sustain this growth and provide opportunities for their young people, they may face a demographic crisis that can lead to stagnation and decline. In addition to demographics, geography also plays a role in the rise and fall of nations. Nations that have access to natural resources, such as oil or minerals, may experience rapid economic growth, but if they are overly reliant on these resources, they may become vulnerable to price fluctuations and economic shocks. Another key factor in the rise and fall of nations is technology. Nations that are able to innovate and adopt new technologies are able to stay ahead of the curve and maintain their economic competitiveness. However, if a nation becomes complacent or resistant to change, they may fall behind and become obsolete. Foreign relations also play a role in the rise and fall of nations. Nations that are able to build strong alliances and establish diplomatic relationships with other countries are able to enhance their economic and political power. However, if a nation becomes isolated or embroiled in conflicts with other countries, they may face serious economic and political consequences. The quality of a nation's leadership is also a key factor in its success or failure. Nations that have visionary and effective leaders are able to navigate challenges and seize opportunities. However, if a nation's leaders are corrupt or ineffective, they may lead the country down a path of decline and instability. Another key factor in the rise and fall of nations is culture. Nations that have strong cultural traditions and values are able to build cohesive societies that are resistant to social unrest and political upheaval. However, if a nation's culture becomes fragmented or corrupted, they may become vulnerable to social unrest and political instability. Finally, a nation's education system is also a key factor in its success or failure. Nations that invest in education and provide opportunities for their citizens to learn and develop new skills are able to stay ahead of the curve and maintain their economic competitiveness. However, if a nation's education system is weak or ineffective, they may fall behind and become obsolete. In conclusion, the rise and fall of nations is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon that can be influenced by a wide range of factors. Nations that are able to sustain economic growth, build strong political institutions, and maintain a healthy demographic profile are more likely to experience long-term success. However, nations that fail to address these and other challenges may find themselves on a path of decline and eventual collapse. It is up to each nation to take the necessary steps to ensure its long-term success and prosperity.